What's up guys, my name's Morgan. I'm a mini lap breeder, and if you look at my last video or the one before that, I posted a video that my mini lap had babies, and she did have 8 babies, which when a litter is that big, a lot of times 2 of them usually don't make it. That's just due to nature and the fact that during feeding time, the babies, all 8 of them, aren't gonna get the milk they need. Some are a little bit weaker because they're all sharing the womb, so when they come out, a few are just a little bit weaker in general, and then if they miss a feeding session or 2, they can die pretty quickly when they're babies. So you can see this little baby here just sleeping. He's so far, or she is okay, but super tiny. So what I'm gonna do right now, and what I did last night, is I have powdered goat milk. So I mixed the powdered goat milk with some lukewarm water and syringe feed it to the baby. This just hopefully will help. So last night, when a bunny dies in the nest, it's really sad, but what happens is when you go to check the nest, you'll feel around for all the babies in a pile, and they're all warm, they're all snuggling, and then there's that one that might not be in the pile anymore. You count 7, and there's just one that you reach around and you find it by itself, and that was this guy last night. He was gone in a different part of the nest by himself, and he was getting cold. That means that if I didn't feed him last night, I probably would have woken up to him by himself, probably dead, in the nest. And he's warm now, so I do believe the feeding him last night helped him, I hope. And he was with the group this morning, so just to keep up and make sure he continues to have enough milk and hopefully be able to save him, I'm going to show me syringe feeding him again. And another good sign, he's warm and he's super active. He's super wiggly. That's a really good sign. It means he's not on the verge anymore of possibly dying. But I just wanted to show feeding him and talk a little bit about when that happens. It doesn't always save the bunny, but I have saved some bunnies before by doing this, and so I will continue to do it to increase those chances. But I just put some of the goat milk in. They're a little bit tricky sometimes. He took it well last night, so, and it looks like he's gonna take it well. Another thing is you don't want to hold them on their back, even if they feed sometimes on their back, because if I give him too much and he can't handle it, he could choke, or it could drown him technically, and I definitely don't want to risk that, so I keep him held up as much as possible. Super wiggly. Sometimes they take a minute to take the milk, but he's tasting it. The best thing is to get it inside his mouth, and then he'll start suckling it. And even if he doesn't want to, I'm gonna make him do it because he needs to eat, and this is getting hair. That's why I brought a paper towel over so there's not hair all over everything. He's about 2 days old, so super fragile and tiny. This is like the smallest syringe I can find too. If I can just get it in his mouth. There he goes. That's good. See, he's drinking the whole thing. There we go. All right. Give him a break. He's opening because he wants more milk from a nipple. But that's not what this is, unfortunately, for him. I'm gonna give him a break on the paper towel because he's kind of covered in milk. I'm gonna refill this. I just made a little shot glass of it because he'll really only have a little bit of this. I usually try to make sure he has about 4 syringe things. He's taking it pretty well. There we go, we got another one in. If you ever find yourself having to do this, you also want to make sure there's no air bubbles in between the liquid and the syringe, because you don't want to push more air into their systems. It's not going to be helpful at all. There we go. I'll do probably one more and then I'll put him back in the nest, but I can tell his little belly is getting bigger, so he's getting fed right now and can hopefully keep up with the rest of the gang, but so far the other 7 look pretty healthy, so I'm just doing this with him until hopefully he catches up. And I'll do this again later tonight and until he seems like he's also getting fed as much as they are and a little bit bigger, because right at this age they're so sensitive that if they don't eat for like one day they can get cold and die, and I don't like when that happens. Nobody wants to see that happen, hopefully. But it's good to see that his little belly is getting full. That's how the rest of the litter looks when they're fed by mom, but he didn't have that, so do one more syringe. He's taking it really well. It's good. My hands are a mess. I'm gonna make sure he's not sticky. I'm gonna wipe him off, wipe it off of his nose. Even though he's tiny, he's got a nice full belly now. And I'm gonna put him back with the rest of the gang. And I think he'll be ready to take a long nap now. But it's good that he's taking and still drinking this, because a lot of times when they're super weak and dying, they're just too weak to even take a syringe and drink anymore, and that can be the end of it. So the fact that he's taking the syringe really well and his little belly's now full with milk is really good. So I'm just gonna keep this up until he gets bigger and seems to be getting as much as the other group. But it's just part of breeding bunnies sometimes, and I'm sure other animals as well. You want to try to help them all survive as much as you can. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. If you have any other questions about this stuff, let me know, and I'll keep you guys updated on this little baby.